There's a force within you that can shape your reality, determine your destiny, and define the man you will become. An energy so powerful it can elevate you to the pinnacles of achievement or drag you to the depths of mediocrity. This force isn't external. It doesn't depend on circumstances or luck. It pulses in your veins, whispers in your thoughts, and manifests through the most primal and paradoxically the most sacred of human impulses, sexual desire. Napoleon Hill, in his tireless search for the secrets of success, discovered something modern society prefers to ignore, something history's great men intuitively understood. Sexual energy isn't just a biological urge for reproduction or fleeting pleasure. It's the raw material of creation, the fuel of genius, the driving force behind every great human accomplishment. But herein lies the paradox few dare to face. The more you squander it, the weaker you become. The more you conserve and transmute it, the more powerful you become. Have you ever wondered why you feel that sense of emptiness after indulging in your impulses? Why, after moments of immediate pleasure, an inexplicable melancholy washes over you? Why do successful men seem to possess a magnetic energy, a presence that transcends the ordinary, a force that attracts opportunities and people like a magnet? The answer lies in understanding an ancient truth that has been deliberately obscured. Sexual energy is the energy of life, and how you use it determines not only who you are, but who you can become. We live in an age where pleasure is sold as liberation, where instant gratification is promised as happiness, where indulgence is mistaken for freedom. But observe the men around you carefully. Those who indulge without limits in the pleasures of the flesh are the same ones who struggle with mediocrity, who face a lack of energy, who feel lost in their own lives. It's no coincidence, it's cause and effect. It's a universal law in operation. The universe isn't neutral. It observes, measures, and rewards according to immutable laws. When you squander your vital energy on fleeting pleasures, when you indulge in compulsive self-gratification, when you allow desire to control you instead of controlling it, you're sending a clear message to the cosmos. I'm not worthy of receiving the best. I choose the immediate over the eternal, the superficial over the profound, the easy over the grand. But when you choose the path of conscious retention, when you transmute this primal energy into creative force, when you channel the fire of desire towards higher purposes, something extraordinary happens. The universe responds, not as an external reward, but as a recognition that you've become worthy of receiving its greatest gifts. Your mind becomes clearer, your presence more magnetic, your decisions more astute. Opportunities begin to arise from unexpected places. People are drawn to your energy. Projects that seemed impossible become achievable. This isn't moral philosophy disguised as a success strategy. It's a scientific and spiritual understanding of human nature. Napoleon Hill studied over 500 exceptionally successful men and discovered that all of them, without exception, had mastered the art of sexual transmutation. They had understood that the energy that moves the world is the same energy that moves desire between a man and a woman, and that this energy, when conserved and redirected, becomes the force behind every great achievement. Edison, Ford, Carnegie, Roosevelt, they all mastered this art, not because they were men without desires, but because they learned to transform their desires into fuel for their ambitions. They discovered that the same fire that can burn and destroy when controlled can forge steel and illuminate cities. The difference isn't in the presence or absence of fire, but in the mastery with which it's handled. Imagine for a moment that your sexual energy is like a cosmic bank account. Every time you squander it on fleeting pleasures, you make a withdrawal. Every time you conserve and transmute it, you make a deposit. The universe keeps a precise record of your deposits and withdrawals, and your rewards or punishments aren't based on moral judgments, but on energetic laws as precise as the law of gravity. Have you noticed how you feel different during periods of abstinence? How your voice gains more authority? How your eyes shine with more intensity? How your presence becomes more magnetic? This isn't imagination. It's concentrated energy manifesting through you. It's the life force that, instead of being dispersed, is being accumulated and refined within you. The ancients knew this. The deepest spiritual traditions have always taught about the importance of conserving vital energy. Taoists spoke of Jing, the vital essence that must be preserved. Hindu yogis taught about ojas, the spiritual energy that arises from the transformation of sexual energy. Medieval alchemists encoded this knowledge in symbols and metaphors, speaking of the transmutation of lead into gold, a direct reference to the transformation of raw sexual energy into refined spiritual power. But modern society, in its obsession with immediate pleasure and instant gratification, has lost this wisdom. We've been conditioned to believe that suppressing desire is negative, that frequent sexual satisfaction is healthy, that releasing sexual tension is necessary for well-being. These beliefs, though comfortable, are gilded cages that keep us from our true potential. The truth is that sexual desire is too sacred to be wasted, too powerful to be ignored, and too transformative to be underestimated. When you understand that this energy is literally the creative force of the universe manifesting through you, your perspective changes completely. You no longer see desire as something to be satisfied, but as something to be honored, cultivated, and transmuted. This journey of transmutation isn't easy. It requires courage to confront your primal urges, discipline to resist immediate temptations, and wisdom to distinguish between fleeting pleasure and lasting fulfillment. It's a battle waged first in your mind, then in your body, and finally, in your soul. But it's a battle that, when won, transforms you into a completely different man. The process of sexual transmutation is like forging a sword. The raw metal must be heated to extreme temperatures, hammered repeatedly, cooled and reheated. Each cycle of heat and pressure makes the metal stronger, more flexible, sharper. Your sexual energy is the raw metal, and you are the blacksmith. Discipline is the fire, resilience is the hammer, and patience is the cooling process. The end result is a weapon capable of cutting through any obstacle in your path. When you awaken to this truth, when you truly understand that your sexual energy is your most valuable resource, everything changes. You stop wasting it on cheap thrills. You stop seeking gratification in places that offer only emptiness. You begin to treat this energy with the respect and reverence it deserves. And the universe, recognizing this shift, begins to conspire in your favor. The opportunities you've been waiting for begin to appear. The right people cross your path at the right time. Brilliant ideas arise in your mind with increasing frequency. Your concentration multiplies. Your physical stamina increases. Your confidence solidifies. Your presence becomes magnetic. This isn't coincidence. It's the law of transmutation in action. But for this transformation to occur, you first need to recognize where you're wasting your energy. Compulsive masturbation is just the tip of the iceberg. Excessive sexual fantasies, pornography consumption, relationships based solely on physical attraction, obsessive conversations and thoughts about sex, all of these represent leaks in your cosmic energy account. Every fantasy is a drain. Every pornographic image viewed is a withdrawal. Every wasted orgasm is a lost investment. This doesn't mean sexuality should be denied or repressed. It means it should be elevated, honored, and used with conscious purpose. The difference between an average man and an extraordinary man isn't the absence of sexual desire, but mastery over that desire. The extraordinary man isn't the one who doesn't feel, but the one who feels deeply and consciously chooses how to express what he feels. When you choose conscious retention, you're doing more than just conserving physical energy. You're training your willpower, developing your discipline, strengthening your character, and declaring to the universe that you're ready to receive greater gifts. You're saying, I choose lasting power over fleeting pleasure. I choose profound fulfillment over superficial satisfaction. I choose to become the man I can be instead of remaining the man I am. This choice resonates through all dimensions of your existence. Your mind becomes sharper because it's not constantly drained by compulsive sexual thoughts. Your body becomes more vigorous because your vital energy isn't being constantly wasted. Your spirit becomes stronger because you're living in accordance with your highest values instead of being a slave to your baser instincts. History's great leaders intuitively understood this principle. They knew that to command others, they first had to command themselves. That to have power over external circumstances, they first had to have power over internal forces. that to attract wealth and success, they first had to conserve and multiply the energetic wealth they already possessed. Napoleon Hill discovered that the most successful men rarely reached their peak achievements before 40. Why? Because it was only at that age that they learned the art of sexual transmutation. Before that, they wasted their vital energy on pleasures and distractions. Afterward, they channeled it towards higher purposes. The difference in terms of achievement was dramatic and unequivocal. You don't have to wait until 40 to learn this lesson. You can start now, today, this very moment. You can decide that your sexual energy is too sacred to be wasted, too valuable to be exchanged for cheap thrills, too powerful to be ignored. You can decide that you will honor it, conserve it, transmute it, and direct it towards your highest goals. But be prepared for resistance. Your mind, conditioned by years of indulgence, will protest. Your body, accustomed to immediate gratification, will rebel. Your society, invested in keeping you as a consumer of pleasures, will question your choices. This resistance isn't a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you're on the right path, but traversing unexplored territory. Sexual transmutation is a process of inner alchemy. Just as medieval alchemists sought to transform base metals into gold, you are transforming base energy into refined power. The process requires patience, persistence, and faith. It doesn't happen overnight, but when it does, the results are undeniable and permanent. During this process, you will discover aspects of yourself you didn't even know existed. You will find reserves of strength you thought you didn't possess. You will develop a mental clarity that will seem almost supernatural. You will cultivate a presence that will make others wonder what's different about you. You will access levels of creativity that will surprise you. Most importantly, you will develop a completely new relationship with power. Not power over others, but power over yourself. Not power to dominate, but power to create. Not power to destroy, but power to build. This is the kind of power the universe rewards, because it's the kind of power that serves the evolution of human consciousness. Imagine waking up every morning feeling like a warrior ready for battle, brimming with energy, a clear mind and a defined purpose. Imagine having the confidence that comes from knowing you're capable of controlling your most primal urges. Imagine the magnetism that emanates from someone who conserves and transmutes their vital energy instead of squandering it. Imagine the opportunities that arise when you operate from this state of inner power. This isn't fantasy. It's the reality for those who master the art of sexual transmutation. It's the reward the universe offers to those who treat their vital energy with the respect it deserves. It's the natural outcome of living in accordance with cosmic laws instead of fighting against them. But the journey requires more than just physical abstinence. It requires a complete transformation of how you see yourself, how you see desire, how you see pleasure, and how you see purpose. You must become an alchemist of your own existence, consciously transforming the lead of your base impulses into the gold of your higher achievements. The first step is recognizing that you have a choice. You can continue to be a slave to your impulses, squandering your vital energy on fleeting pleasures, living a life of mediocrity disguised as normalcy. Or you can choose the path of the inner warrior, conserving your energy, transmuting your desire, and directing your life force towards goals worthy of your higher nature. This choice isn't moral, it's practical. It's not about right or wrong, it's about effective or ineffective. It's not about purity or impurity, it's about power or weakness. The universe doesn't care about your moral justifications. It responds to your energy and your actions. When you conserve and transmute, it rewards. When you waste and dissipate, it withdraws its gifts. The evidence of this law is all around you. Observe the men who squander their sexual energy. They often struggle with lack of motivation, procrastination, indecision, and lack of direction. Observe the men who conserve and transmute their sexual energy. They often demonstrate laser focus, unwavering determination, abundant creativity, and success in multiple areas of life. This isn't coincidence. It's cause and effect. It's a natural law as reliable as gravity. When you waste your vital energy, you literally diminish your ability to manifest your dreams into reality. When you conserve and transmute your vital energy, you exponentially increase your power of creation and accomplishment. The process of transmutation involves more than simply retaining semen. It involves the conscious transformation of sexual energy into other forms of energy, mental, emotional, creative, and spiritual. It's an active process of redirection, not a passive process of suppression. You're not denying the fire, you're learning to use it to forge your own greatness. This transformation happens on multiple levels. Physically, you'll begin to notice an increase in energy, vitality, and presence. Mentally, you'll experience greater clarity, focus, and concentration. Emotionally, you'll develop greater stability, confidence, and personal magnetism. Spiritually, you'll feel a deeper connection to your purpose and a sense of alignment with forces greater than yourself. But the most powerful aspect of sexual transmutation is its effect on your ability to manifest. When you conserve your sexual energy, you're literally accumulating creative force. This force can then be consciously directed towards your goals, dreams, and ambitions. It's like having a cosmic amplifier for your intentions. The great artists, inventors, leaders, and visionaries of history instinctively understood this principle. During their periods of greatest creativity and productivity, they often practiced some form of sexual conservation, not because they despised sex, but because they recognized that the same energy that creates life can create works of art, revolutionary inventions, and transformative movements. Michelangelo, Tesla, Newton, Gandhi, all of them at different periods in their lives, channeled their sexual energy into their work. They intuitively understood that sexual energy is creative energy, and that this energy, when conserved and directed, can move mountains and change the world. You have the same energy within you, you have the same potential for greatness. The only difference is that they learn to honor and transmute it, while you may have been conditioned to squander it. But that can change. You can change. You can choose to honor the sacred force pulsing within you. When you make this choice, when you truly commit to the path of transmutation, something extraordinary happens. You cease to be just another man, battling his impulses, and become a conscious alchemist of your own existence. You stop reacting to your desires and begin directing them. You stop being a slave to your needs and become a master of your energies. This mastery manifests in practical and tangible ways. Your projects begin to flow more easily. Your decisions become more astute. Your ability to persuade increases. Your presence becomes more magnetic. People are naturally drawn to you. Opportunities arise from unexpected places. Your intuition becomes sharper. Your creativity flourishes. But perhaps the most transformative aspect is the shift in your self-image. When you prove to yourself that you can control your most primal urges, you develop a confidence that no external accomplishment can provide. You know, deep in your soul that you are capable of anything you set your mind to. You have developed the most important quality for success, self-mastery. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's not about never feeling desire. It's about learning to direct desire. It's not about becoming a saint. It's about becoming a master of your own energy. There will be moments of weakness, moments of doubt, moments of temptation. This is normal and expected. What matters is not to never fall, but to always get back up and keep walking. Every time you choose transmutation over dissipation, you're strengthening your willpower muscle. Every time you redirect your sexual energy towards higher goals, you're making a deposit in your cosmic account. Every time you resist immediate gratification in favor of lasting fulfillment, you're sending a clear message to the universe about the kind of man you're becoming. And the universe responds, not like a father rewarding an obedient child, but like an energy field recognizing and mirroring the vibrational pattern you're emanating. When you vibrate at the level of self-mastery, discipline, and high purpose, you attract circumstances, people, and opportunities that resonate with this vibration. This is the true magic of sexual transmutation. It's not about suppressing or denying a natural part of yourself. It's about elevating and transforming this part into something bigger, more powerful, and more aligned with your higher goals. It's about recognizing that sexual energy is too sacred to be wasted and too powerful to be ignored. When you fully embrace this path, when you become truly committed to the conservation and transmutation of your vital energy, You join an ancestral lineage of men who understood and applied these principles. You become part of a tradition that stretches back to the ancient sages and extends to the most modern visionaries. You become a man who doesn't just possess power, but is power. Not just someone who seeks success, but someone who magnetizes success. Not just someone who desires transformation, but someone who is transformation. This is the ultimate reward the universe offers to those who choose to honor and transmute the most powerful force within themselves. The path lies before you. The choice is yours. You can continue wasting your vital energy on fleeting pleasures and wonder why life seems so hard and opportunities so scarce. Or you can begin today the journey of transmutation, conserving your sacred energy, directing it towards higher goals, and discovering the extraordinary power that has always existed within you. The universe is awaiting your decision. It's ready to reward those who choose mastery over mediocrity, discipline over dissipation, transformation over stagnation. The question isn't whether you have the power to change your life through sexual transmutation. The question is whether you have the courage to discover and apply this power. The time for hesitation is past. The moment of decision is here. Your vital energy is being wasted with every moment you delay this choice. Your inner strength is being diminished every time you choose immediate pleasure over lasting power. Your magnitude is being reduced every time you allow primal urges to dominate your higher aspirations. But all of this can change. Now, today, this moment. You can decide that your sexual energy is your most valuable resource and that you will treat it with the respect it deserves. You can decide that your impulses will no longer control you, but that you will control them. You can decide that you will become an alchemist of your own existence, transforming the lead of your base desires into the gold of your elevated achievements. This decision isn't just about sex or abstinence. It's about who you will become as a man. It's about the legacy you will leave. It's about the impact you will have on the world. It's about discovering and expressing your deepest greatness. It's about honoring the sacred force the Creator placed within you and using it for purposes worthy of that force. The universe is conspiring in your favor, but it can only work with the energy you offer it. When you offer wasted energy, it can only create wasted results. When you offer conserved and transmuted energy, it can create miracles. The choice of what kind of energy you will offer is entirely yours. You already know the truth. You already feel the force of this message resonating in your soul. You already recognize the wisdom behind these principles. Now, the only question that remains is, will you have the courage to live according to this truth? Will you have the discipline to apply these principles? Will you have the persistence to continue on the path even when it's difficult? Your answer to these questions will determine not only your material success, but your spiritual fulfillment. It will determine not only your outer wealth, but your inner riches. It will determine not only your temporary achievements, but your eternal legacy. This is the most important choice you can make as a man, because it's the choice that defines all other aspects of your existence. The power is in your hands, the energy is in your body, the wisdom is in your mind. The choice is in your heart. The moment is here. The universe is waiting. Your greatness is calling. Your transformation is beginning. Answer the call. Embrace the power. Begin the journey. Become the man you were born to be. Conscious retention is only the beginning. Transmutation is the process. Fulfillment is the result. And the universe's reward is the extraordinary life you always knew was possible, but never had the courage to claim. Now you have the knowledge. Now you have the opportunity. Now you have the power to choose. Use it wisely. Use it courageously. Use it to become the highest version of yourself. The path of sexual transmutation is not merely a method to achieve success. It is a portal to an entirely new existence. It is an initiation into the deepest mysteries of human nature. It is a journey back to your original power before you were conditioned to waste it. It is a rediscovery of who you truly are when you are not being drained by empty pleasures. Embarking on this journey, you quickly discover it demands far more than sheer willpower. It requires a fundamental shift in your identity. You must cease viewing yourself as a man battling impulses and begin seeing yourself as a man directing his energy. You must stop identifying with your weaknesses and start identifying with your inner strength. This identity shift is perhaps the most challenging and simultaneously the most liberating aspect of the journey. Challenging because it means abandoning behavioral patterns that may have defined you for years or decades. Liberating because it means uncovering aspects of yourself you didn't even know existed. It means accessing reserves of energy and creativity that were locked away by destructive habits. As you progress on this path, you'll begin to notice subtle yet profound changes in how you interact with the world. Your voice will carry more natural authority. Your eyes will have a brighter spark. Your presence will be more magnetic. People will start commenting that there's something different about you, even if they can't pinpoint exactly what it is. This happens because the conserved and transmuted sexual energy manifests as a form of charisma that can't be faked or manufactured. It's an authentic presence that arises when you're living in alignment with the deepest laws of your being. It's the natural magnetism of a man who has become master of his own life force. But perhaps the most profound transformation is in your relationship with time. When you're not constantly draining your energy on fleeting pleasures, you develop a long-term perspective that completely transforms your decision-making ability. You stop chasing immediate gratification and begin building toward lasting results. This shift in temporal perspective is crucial for any form of genuine success. Mediocre men live paycheck to paycheck, pleasure to pleasure, distraction to distraction. Extraordinary men live goal to goal, achievement to achievement, legacy to legacy. The fundamental difference is the ability to sacrifice immediate pleasure for lasting power. When you master this ability through the practice of conscious retention, you develop what might be called manifestation muscles. Just as physical muscles grow stronger with exercise, your ability to manifest your desires in reality strengthens each time you choose discipline over indulgence. These manifestation muscles express themselves in practical and measurable ways. Your projects begin to materialize more quickly. Your ideas gain traction more easily. Your words carry more weight and persuasion. Your ability to attract resources, people, and opportunities increases dramatically. This isn't magic in the supernatural sense, but it is magic in the sense that it seems to transcend the normal laws of cause and effect. The scientific explanation is that you're operating from a state of conserved energy rather than dissipated energy. You're functioning as a closed system instead of a leaky one. You're vibrating at a frequency of power instead of a frequency of weakness. And the universe, being an intelligent energy field, responds to these vibrational differences in ways that may seem miraculous to those who don't understand the principles involved. Napoleon Hill discovered that this law of energetic attraction is especially potent in the financial realm. Men who practice sexual transmutation consistently report dramatic increases in their ability to generate and attract wealth. This is no coincidence. Money is crystallized energy, and those who conserve their vital energy develop a natural resonance with other forms of energy, including monetary energy. More importantly, they develop the personal qualities that naturally attract financial opportunities: confidence, discipline, long-term vision, the ability to make tough decisions, and the ability to stay focused under pressure. These qualities can't be faked or bought. They must be cultivated through character-building practices, and sexual transmutation is one of the most powerful practices for this development. But the benefits extend far beyond material success. Men who master the art of sexual transmutation frequently report a deeper sense of spiritual connection, a clearer life purpose, and a feeling of being aligned with forces greater than themselves. They discover that when they honor the most sacred energy within themselves, they naturally align with the sacred in all other areas of their lives. This spiritual connection isn't abstract or theoretical. It's visceral and practical. It manifests as sharpened intuition, frequent synchronicities, and a feeling of being guided by a higher intelligence. When you conserve your vital energy, you become more sensitive to the subtle currents of information that constantly flow through the universe. You develop what might be called more sensitive cosmic antennas. This heightened sensitivity allows you to navigate life with a grace and efficiency that seems almost supernatural to outside observers. You begin to be in the right place at the right time with surprising frequency. You meet the right people, discover the right opportunities, and make the right decisions with a consistency that defies conventional explanation. The reason for this is that when you're not constantly draining your energy on fleeting pleasures, you have more energy available to process subtle information from the environment. Your mind isn't constantly clouded by compulsive sexual thoughts. Your senses aren't dulled by overstimulation. Your intuition isn't blocked by guilt and shame associated with the waste of vital energy. This enhanced mental clarity translates into better decision-making in all areas of life. You become more capable of distinguishing between genuine opportunities and disguised distractions. You develop better discernment about people, investments, relationships, and career choices. Your ability to see through illusions and manipulations increases dramatically. But perhaps the most transformative aspect is the development of what might be called authentic masculine presence. This is a quality that transcends physical appearance, social status, or material achievements. It's an emanation of inner strength that arises when a man is living in complete alignment with his deepest nature. This authentic presence is immediately recognizable, though difficult to define in words. It's the difference between a man who possesses genuine power and a man who merely projects an image of power. It's the difference between true confidence and compensatory arrogance. It's the difference between natural leadership and forced domination. When you develop this presence through the practice of sexual transmutation, you discover you no longer need to strive for respect or attention. They come naturally. You no longer need to prove your worth or desperately compete for position. Your value becomes self-evident. You no longer need to manipulate or coerce to get what you want. Your influence becomes magnetic instead of forced. This transformation is especially noticeable in romantic relationships. Women are naturally drawn to men who have mastered their sexual energy, even if they don't consciously understand why. There's something primal and magnetic about a man who conserves and transmutes his life force. It's an attraction that transcends superficial preferences and touches something deep within the feminine unconscious. This doesn't mean you become irresistibly attractive to every woman. It means you attract women who resonate with your elevated level of energy and personal development. You stop attracting relationships based on mutual need and start attracting relationships based on mutual empowerment. You stop looking for someone to complete you and start attracting someone to complement you. This shift in the quality of your romantic relationships is a reflection of a deeper shift in how you relate to power in general. When you master your sexual energy, you develop a healthy relationship with power in all its forms. You neither desperately seek it nor reject it out of fear. You acknowledge it, honor it, and utilize it responsibly. This balanced relationship with power manifests in your professional career in extraordinary ways. You become the kind of person who naturally ascends to positions of leadership, not because you fight for them, but because you possess the qualities that cause others to naturally look to you for direction. You develop the rare combination of strength and wisdom that defines true leadership. Supervisors and colleagues begin to notice something different about you. You project an aura of competence and trustworthiness that causes greater responsibilities to naturally gravitate toward you. You become the kind of person others instinctively trust with sensitive information, important decisions, and critical projects. But perhaps even more important is the effect on your own perception of possibilities. When you prove to yourself that you can master the most powerful drive in human nature, you develop an unshakable conviction that you can master any challenge life throws your way. You cease to see obstacles as insurmountable barriers and begin to see them as puzzles to be solved. This shift in mindset is perhaps the most valuable benefit of sexual transmutation. It transforms you from someone who reacts to circumstances into someone who creates circumstances. From someone who waits for life to happen to him into someone who makes life happen through him. From someone who seeks opportunities into someone who creates opportunities. The journey to develop this mastery is not linear, nor always predictable. There will be periods of rapid progress, followed by periods of apparent stagnation. There will be moments of crystal clear clarity followed by moments of confusion and doubt. There will be exhilarating victories followed by temporary setbacks. All of this is normal and necessary. The important thing is to understand that every challenge along the way is an opportunity to strengthen your resolve and deepen your understanding. Every temptation resisted is a deposit in your willpower bank account. Every impulse transmuted is a step toward mastery. Every moment of conscious discipline is an investment in your extraordinary future. During the most difficult periods of this journey, when temptation seems overwhelming and discipline seems impossible, remember that you are not merely fighting against a habit. You are breaking free from a prison that keeps most men in perpetual mediocrity. You are reclaiming a power that is your birthright, but that you have been conditioned to squander. Remember also that great men throughout history have faced these same internal battles. They felt the same temptations, faced the same doubts, struggled against the same impulses. The difference is that they persevered. They chose mastery over mediocrity, discipline over dissipation, lasting power over momentary pleasure. You have the same choice before you at every moment. With every compulsive sexual thought, you can choose to redirect your mind to higher goals. With every impulse to seek immediate gratification, you can choose to channel that energy into meaningful projects. With every temptation to squander your life force, you can choose to conserve and transmute it. These seemingly small choices, made consistently over time, create a transformation that is truly extraordinary. They don't just change your behavior, they change your identity. You cease to be someone who struggles against impulses and become someone who directs them. You cease to be a victim of your desires and become a master of your energies. This transformation of identity is accompanied by a transformation in your external reality. People respond to you differently. Opportunities present themselves more frequently. Resources flow toward you with greater ease. Obstacles that once seemed insurmountable begin to dissolve before your newly focused energy. This isn't about superficial magical thinking or positive affirmations. It's the natural result of operating from a state of conserved energy instead of scattered energy. It's what happens when you align your actions with the fundamental laws governing human success and fulfillment. It's how the universe responds when you demonstrate you're ready to receive and utilize genuine power. The most beautiful aspect of this journey is that it has no endpoint. There's no moment when you complete the process and can relax your efforts. It's a process of continuous growth and refinement that deepens and expands throughout your life. Each stage of mastery unlocks new levels of possibility and potential. As you progress, you'll discover that sexual energy isn't just a force to be conserved and transmuted, but a source of wisdom and guidance. It becomes an internal barometer that helps you navigate complex decisions and ambiguous situations. When you're aligned with your higher purpose, your sexual energy flows in a balanced and powerful way. When you're misaligned, it becomes agitated or stagnant. Learning to read and interpret these energetic signals becomes a valuable skill that guides you in all areas of life. You develop a form of intelligence that transcends purely mental analysis and incorporates bodily wisdom and spiritual intuition. This integrated intelligence allows you to make decisions that are simultaneously practical and inspired. Over time, you may find that the practice naturally leads you to explore other spiritual disciplines and personal development practices. Meditation, fasting, rigorous physical exercise, philosophical study, all these practices become more appealing and effective when you're operating from a state of conserved energy. This is because it develops your overall capacity for discipline and self-mastery. It's like a foundational exercise that strengthens all the other muscles of willpower. Once you prove to yourself that you can master the most powerful impulse of human nature, other forms of self-discipline seem relatively easy. This natural expansion of your disciplinary practice creates a positive cycle of growth and development. Each new area of mastery strengthens your overall confidence and competence. Each small victory contributes to a growing sense that you're capable of anything you set your mind to. This evidence-based confidence becomes an unstoppable force in your life. But perhaps the deepest aspect of this journey is how it changes your relationship with the concept of masculinity itself. In a culture that often conflates masculinity with dominance, aggression, or sexual promiscuity, the practice reveals a far deeper and more powerful form of masculinity. This authentic masculinity doesn't need to prove itself through sexual conquests or displays of brute force. It expresses itself through calm presence, natural leadership, loving protection, and disciplined power. It's a masculinity that honors both strength and tenderness, both determination and compassion, both independence and connection. When you develop this deeper form of masculinity, you become a role model and inspiration for other men. You demonstrate that it's possible to be powerful without being domineering, confident without being arrogant, sexual without being compulsive. You become living proof that there's an alternative to the toxic masculinity prevalent in many cultures. This positive influence extends beyond your personal interactions. It affects your work, your community, and even future generations through the example you set. You become part of the solution to the problems that plague modern men. Lack of purpose, addiction to instant gratification, inability to form deep and lasting relationships. As more men awaken to these principles and begin to practice this, a morphogenetic field of positive change begins to form. Each man who chooses mastery over mediocrity makes it easier for other men to make the same choice. Each individual victory contributes to a collective transformation of masculine consciousness. This broader perspective can give even greater meaning to your personal journey. You're not just working to improve your own life. You're contributing to the elevation of humanity. You're not just developing your own potential, you're helping to create a world where human potential can flourish more fully. But even with this elevated perspective, it's important to remember that the journey begins and continues with individual moment-to-moment choices. Great transformations are built upon a foundation of small, consistent decisions. Each moment you choose discipline over indulgence. Each thought you redirect from sexual fantasy to creative vision. Each impulse you transmute into productive action. These are the basic building blocks of an extraordinary life. The power to transform your life is literally in your hands right now. It doesn't depend on external circumstances, financial resources, or the approval of others. It depends only on your willingness to recognize the value of your vital energy and treat it with the respect it deserves. It depends on your courage to resist immediate temptation in favor of lasting fulfillment. This choice is available to you now, not at some future point when you feel more prepared or motivated. Preparation and motivation come through action, not before it. You become prepared by practicing. You become motivated by seeing results. You become powerful by exercising power over yourself. The universe isn't waiting for you to become perfect before it starts rewarding you. It's waiting for you to begin. It's ready to support any genuine movement toward mastery and elevated fulfillment. But it can't work with energy that isn't offered, and it can't multiply power that isn't exercised. Your life force is the most valuable offering you can make to the altar of your highest ambitions. It's the most powerful fuel you can put in the tank of your grandest dreams. It's the safest investment you can make in your extraordinary future. But it can only serve these purposes if you choose to conserve, honor, and transmute it. The door to this transformation stands open before you. The path is clearly marked by the footsteps of those who came before you. The rewards are available to anyone willing to pay the price of discipline and persistence. All it takes is for you to take the first step and keep walking, no matter how challenging the journey may become. Remember that every great journey begins with a single decision, and every great transformation begins with a single act of will. Your journey of personal transformation, with all its rewards and challenges, begins the moment you decide that your vital energy is too sacred to be wasted and too powerful to be ignored. The moment of decision is now. The power of transformation is in your hands. The extraordinary future you've always dreamed of is waiting on the other side of your choice. The universe is ready to reward those who choose to honor the most powerful force within themselves. Make the choice, make the decision, begin the journey. Become the man you were born to be. Your conserved and transmuted life force is the key that will unlock all the doors of success, fulfillment, and magnificence that the universe has to offer. Use this key. Open these doors. Claim your inheritance of greatness. The power is within you. The wisdom is before you. The opportunity is within your reach. The reward is waiting. The only question that remains is, Will you reach out and take it?